Good morning to all traders and welcome to another Markets and Waves Monday today, and we near the end of the month, the end of the quarter, and I think it's going to be volatile until Thursday and perhaps even after Thursday. With that said, we need to get back to the DXY to see what's really happening there to get a broader perspective of what we're going to expect going forward. Along with that, I want to have a quick look on euro dollar. Dollar again as it broke the triangle. Price of oil linear diagonal looks compelled, and also going to go and check. We haven't checked for a while the prices of silver. Now the DXY guys remain. I mean, it's pretty much unchanged, right? But if we look at this main scenario that I'm supporting, perhaps that might be the beginning of the minor wave 3 over here. If not, then there is multiple scenarios, but the one that is most likely to take place would be a continuation to the upside. Okay, that would be for 1 and 2, and then we'll have 3, then we'll have 4, and then we'll have 5. We can literally go up to 94.72. And how would that happen is that my wave A would be here, my wave B would be here, okay, and I would be expecting a wave C. Okay, so that would be the only difference in this particular case. There is also a downside potential that can get us down to the previous low. That would be if my wave A was actually where it is, and we would have a running triangle over here. Okay, something like this. But I'm not sure really. I'm just telling you, it's a potential in case we see downside and prices get stuck around the 92 level. Then the chance of that obviously being the case would increase massively. We're looking at another scenario as well, guys, that this W, X, and Y, the whole move from like in wave 4, might turn up being some sort of triangle, right? Because we can still go up, but if this upside is limited, then it's very likely that, if we stop here, it's very likely that this is the triangle that we've been expecting. But one can still say that, oh, this is A, B, and C, look, because we'll have a fresh high in either way, in either case. But if we're going to get a fresh high and we're just going to do that and stop at the trend line, I will actually replace this to a triangle rather than anything else, since it's a wave of 4 and it really matches the correction in wave 2, the duration. For euro dollar, I'm still expecting another leg down, and I will explain why. You remember last time we changed the 1 and 2 and 3 scenario to that being now 4th, and we expect the 5th because we had a very deep correction here. If that was a supposedly a wave 1, right, and this wave 2. So before breaking the 85%, I was fine still with wave 2 being here. But now after the 85% break, we need to reassess. And the reassessment was, even last time we talked about that, very likely we're going to get another leg down, go to a fresh low, and then correct, and then reverse. So this is definitely a wave 1 and wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and then someone might say, oh, look, wave 5 finished. Yeah, but we didn't get a fresh low. Yes, it can be truncated, but we prefer to see what's happening around here and then make conclusions. But for now, I will assume that this is 1 and 2. We're going to get 3, then 4, and then 5 for an ending diagonal. That's what I will assume for now. Okay. Otherwise, you well know, like me, that is very likely to reverse. Okay. For dollar yen, we changed this so many times and still didn't get it right. A, B, C, D, E now, with this sort of thing coming up, or as a false sort of break, I was really expecting A, B, C, D, and E, if you remember, because I prefer to see triangles that way rather than having false breaks happening. That was a miss on wave D. Anyway, it can happen. And now we broke outside the triangle, that's for sure. Okay, which means our wave 2 is in. wave 2 or wave B, right? So for now, we've got to remain above this trend line and above this support, if you may, as well, around 110.50 in order to continue higher. And obviously the first target is the 111.64, and that would be the at least target. Okay. Obviously, we can have alternative scenarios coming in. It could be a case that, well, if that's W and X, that might be, A, B, C, D, E here. That might become a barrier triangle, guys, because there is also the possibility of that turning into a barrier triangle. Okay, that will be in wave 2. Although I'm not sure I've ever actually seen a barrier triangle in a WXY combination, but that would definitely be the first time. So that would be my alternative for now, the closest alternative. Okay. For dollar, the US oil, I did talk about the leading diagonal over here last time. I did say, but I'm not expecting prices to go all the way up and meet the trend line, but it happened. Okay, it happened, but it's happening on low volumes, guys. Okay, and when this is happening on low volumes, it means that this is overextended and there is an exhaustion that we have to anticipate, giving us some sort of reversal or a correction. So from here, we're going to pull our Fibo now, and we expect to see prices start correcting, at least some sort of significant amount, probably down to 70. That would be only 38.2. Leading diagonals, the truth is that they are usually seen correcting around 78%. Okay. If we go to 66, we're still okay. If we go to 50, we're good. If we go to 38.2, it means that this is going to be a very strong wave 3 coming in. Okay. So in either case, that's the scenario. The W, X, Y, X, and Z, it becomes a bit of a different case now, to be fair. If that it turns out some sort of a triangle, it means that this is not 1 and 2, it's A and B. Okay. Well, my B obviously would be A, B, C, D, E would be down here. You understand that, right? And then we would move higher for wave C. So there is no impulse move to the upside, at least in a 5-wave manner. All the other scenario we talked about, that being, well, perhaps that being 1 and 2, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But as I said before, we don't see the volumes increasing in 3, plus this 1 would look more of a 3 rather than a 5. So we're good for now. I think we can expect a correction. And finally, on silver, and actually since we haven't looked at silver for a while, let me just go out on the 4 hours. Maybe I actually will go down on the daily just to show you what I'm expecting, guys. I think super cycle wave 2 is done. Okay, triple zigzag down at this low, 1169, and since up. The 5th wave was done, in my opinion, here rather than here. Here would be an alternative for me. And we've got A, B, and C, which looks like to me that we're going to head down to 2163 and then reverse. This to me is a regular flat. Okay, and let me just now go a little bit closer. Maybe actually I will have to go to the 4 hours first. Yeah, there we go. Oops, excuse me. That was not meant to happen. So wave on up here, really 4 and 2 make sense like this rather than 4 being here, although many people call this a 4 and this a 5, although there is no ending diagonal here. This is not 5-wave structure either. There is no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. This is not ending diagonal. In ending diagonal, my wave 5 has to be smaller than 3. Sometimes we can expect overthrows, but this is a bit too much. So that's why I prefer this for a main, and then the alternative I will show you in a minute. So ABC, leading diagonal here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm expecting this regular flat to end with an ending diagonal lower down, and the previous wave A low would make a perfect sense to be our level. And from there, we can start looking for price to move higher. We start already seeing some volumes increasing here, which indicates there's good support. So since ending diagonals are 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we ended. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll continue all the way up. Okay, now the alternative scenario that I'm looking for, guys, here is that indeed my wave 1 is here. This is a magic ending diagonal, and this is a leading diagonal, my wave 2, and we're going to get, you know, more downside. We're going to get 3, 4, and 5, okay, which means there is no ending diagonal. This is leading diagonal, which we cannot have in an ending diagonal, by the way. So, or, you know, it might just be an ABC, which means we ended here, or we're going to end. This is going to be probably something like, actually that would be 1, 2, and then we'll get 3, 4, and 5. That also, if seen as an ABC, would have a bit more of a detrimental effect on the downside. Okay, but my main remains intact. Maybe we're gonna see a rejection here at the bottom trend line, and that would be a very good signal to take, in my opinion. So guys, thank you for watching, for being with us again on a Monday. We'll be here again tomorrow with another Elliott Wave update. Take care until then, and if you have any questions, don't forget, as always, you can go ahead and ask on our YouTube section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.